Ready Check Radio. What's up, Internet? It's Thursday. It's 7 p.m. Eastern. That means here on Ready Check Radio, it's time for the Relic Grind, our Final Fantasy XIV Square Enix podcast. And we got a little bit of news on the Final Fantasy XIV side and a whole bunch of little news over on the Square Enix side. We're going to go through all of it like we always do. I'm your host, Mike Byrne, a.k.a. Magic Man, as always. And this is episode 160. Of course, we're doing the show live, twitch.tv/ReadyCheckRadio. If you can't join us live, please try to do it sometime. But if you can't, thank you so much for watching over on ReadyCheckRadio.com, YouTube, listening on Audible, Spotify, all the podcast platforms. While you're there, give it a like, a subscribe, turn on those notifications, thumbs up, all the good stuff that feeds the old algorithms. And, of course, hit up ReadyCheckRadio.com for the backlog of all of our shows and links to all of our socials and all that fun stuff. You know where. You know what to do. Like, we've all been doing this long enough. I think we all know what to do, right? You click the things. Click the things. Joining me to talk about all the Square Enix news this week, Mr. Chris Montoya, a.k.a. Tarkoth. What's up, my friend?
Greetings, programs. Not much, man. I'm just hyping myself up for some variant dungeon next week. Got my friend who just released a game, so I'm trying that out. And Marathon Server Slam dropping. So a lot of other stuff going on, but here to talk about
video game or board game? Your friend created thing. Oh, nice.
Towerborn.
Well, all right. There you go. Free plug. Check it out. Towerborn.
Yeah.
On Steam?
Steam, PS5. I'm not sure all the places. I'm sure Xbox too.
Is this like a one-man show, or does he work for a company, or?
No, she's part of Xbox.
She.
Xbox
My
Game
apologies.
Studios.
My apologies. I thought you said he earlier. I apologize.
It's so weird seeing Xbox Game Studios on my PlayStation. I'm just throwing that out there. What a weird timeline we live in.
Yeah, go check it out. Go check it out. Give it some love. Also on the line, Mr. Paul Berland, a.k.a. Flynn. What's up?
Hey, it's been a weird, interesting week for random Square Enix adjacent news. It's not in the show notes.
Yeah.
It's a UK festival, a music festival we have every year called Download. And all of a sudden, the Primals are playing.
Huh.
And it's kind of insane.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, what?
Yeah, they just decide to show up. Yeah, it's been one of those. I mean, this usually happens like right at the tail end of the expansion, right? Where the right before the fan fest and stuff, the news, particularly on the 14 front specifically, gets very, very light. Very light. As we get into like the .4, .45, .5 patch, right before the fan fest, which, you know, a little over a month away. So not too much longer to at least wait for some announcements on 8.0 at the first fan fest here in North America. But it's not totally devoid of news. It's just like there's a lot of little things. Like, we're not going to talk for 25 minutes on a topic today, but we're going to talk about multiple topics for 3 to 5 minutes each, and it'll suck up the whole hour.
Yep,
right?
That's enough.
Read the show.
On the 14 front, let's talk about what's happening this week first, and then we'll talk about next week as well. But we have Little Ladies' Day kicking off tomorrow, running through March 12th. So go ahead and get your ass over to Ul'dah on the steps of Nald and pick up multiple different colored t-shirts and the cheer rhythm in multiple colors. It's just it's a very, very festive day, Little Ladies' Day. No minions. And I'm not even missing a minion from this one, Tark, so I can't hope. You know how they put that, like, hey, some things from this previous event last year, if you missed it, might be in the cache of. No, I got to wait for the fucking Rising. So I got like 11 months or 10 months to wait for the next Rising because of that minion I'm missing there.
Damn you, minion.
I know.
The seasonal stuff I'm missing are mounts, and I'm not going to drop $25 on a seasonal mount. I'm just not.
Yeah,
I missed it.
Yep, I'm not huge on the mounts either. Chrono's still killing it on his mount collection, though. I mean, that dude's a beast when it comes to his mount collection. On the Final Fantasy XI side, this event, Little Ladies' Day, also coincides with their Dolls Day. So if you are a Final Fantasy XI player, you have that going for you. And honestly, Final Fantasy XI is the one that I'm like, really, out of the two right now, Tark, it's the one I'm watching a lot closer to see like those solo-friendly updates and the things that they keep making to it. It's just like I'm very much watching and enjoying some of that stuff. I haven't played in a couple of months, so it's probably time for the burn. But of course, World of Warcraft Midnight Early Access opened up just before this show, so I'll probably hold off on 11 for a little bit while I get to the new level cap and all that.
You're being stretched thin. There's not enough time in the day.
I'm MMO thin right now. And speaking of both of those games, just so you know, I mean, this isn't really going to affect anybody. I just think it was weird, so I threw it in the show notes. Like, all of a sudden, Square Enix decided that, hey, the Square Enix account system that works for both 14 and 11, it's no longer going to ask players to set up a security question and answer. Like,
yeah, it's a
they're
little
just
weird.
taking that out.
I'm kind of glad because I've completely forgotten what my security answer is.
Well, I mean,
because I don't remember which question I had. It's like, I'm just going to get locked out. Oh, screw this! I'll forget it exists.
And that whole conversation I had with you, Flynn, we spent like an hour just talking and managed to get your mother's maiden name, your dog's name,
right?
You know, all that stuff. You know, while just talking to you, and now I can't use it.
I know that.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to do anything. It's just they're not going to use it anymore. I was like, that's kind of like coming out of nowhere. I mean, I don't mind, but that's coming because I'm
just get a security token.
Yeah, I'm already authenticated up, so I don't mind on my side. But yeah, just randomly, and there was like one or two news sites that actually covered it as a whole story, and I'm like, you know what? Respect. I don't know how you got 500 words out of that, but respect.
You see a drop to bullshit.
Yeah, just there's respect. So that's what's coming this week. What's coming next week, we found out today, 7.45 drops on March 3rd. So Tuesday, you're going to get a couple of new things, one of which I know all three of us are looking forward to, and that's the variant dungeon.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have some Hildebrand stuff in there as well. That's really the only content that's being added, although the variant, criterion, whatever dungeon stuff, that's going to suck up a fair amount of time, right? Because you got to get through all the different paths and all that stuff. So I am kind of looking forward to that. But there are a slew of new pictures on the special site, too. I brought the genie mount picture because I just thought it looked badass. That is cool.
That mount's sick.
Yeah, that's a disgusting mount. So I know what I'll be doing next Tuesday. We'll just have to see how far I am, Tark, in WoW to see if I could take a break and go do my
criterion. If the WoW crack has hit you this week.
Right.
Yeah, you could actually do a little bit of prep now if you haven't. There's a side quest in Urkel Pacha for the pre-unlock. So look for the little blue icon in Urkel Pacha, and it's about a merchant who swindles another merchant. So if you do that,
it's really quick. You're not going to be there long.
Yeah.
You're not going to be there long, but you'll have it ready to go. So I'm kind of looking forward to 7.5 or 4.5. Sorry.
Yeah, it should be a good time.
I love the variant dungeons. Just make the rewards better. God damn it.
Oh God, that's so we don't have to rail about it on this show, please.
I know it's gonna happen.
How
next
good
week.
it is will depend on how the conversation happens.
Next week it's gonna be topic 1. Son of a bitch, the rewards still suck for this thing. Just
ever get it right.
Yeah, just lock it in right now. It'll absolutely be topic number 1.
You could just hire us. We could tell you how to do rewards, for crying out loud.
Right, exactly. But if you're looking for kind of like a state of the game-ish right now, we have talked about Lucky Boncho's population census before on the show. And yes, we recognize that this is by no means like the exact numbers for population or anything like that, since it is tracking the population based on certain things like achievements within certain time windows, different milestones or minions owned by the accounts, things like that. So, but it has proven to be, I think the best way to describe it is relatively directionally accurate, if maybe not specifically accurate with the individual numbers. And yeah, it looks like 7.4 really did some good stuff for the game as far as immediate attention from the audience. It's estimating that we've picked up about 110,000 active characters compared to about 3 months ago. And that puts us at just under 1 million Warriors of Light running around, and about 60,000 of those are new characters. And again, this is referring to characters, not players or people. So, rolling multiple characters may not be something a lot of Final Fantasy people do, but it is done. So we got to separate that this is characters. And the number of returning players exceeded about 200,000, up 80,000 from the previous census. Now,
Nice.
most of the breakdowns, Tark, just say, hey, you know what? Because 7.4 was relatively well received. What is it about 7.4 do you think that pulled some people back in? Was it the content itself, or was it the .4 usually represents the end of the current expansion and the beginning setup for the next one?
That's a great question. I would think it'd be a little bit of both. When you get to the last few MSQ quests, people start coming back like, all right, I need to catch up and get ready for the expansion. Although you could say, they have a year from 7.5 being released to, have a lot of time to do that, or 9 months, whatever. But the content has also been excellent. I think they got a lot of good press on the Everything Burns with Tom Morello. And yeah, everything's just coming up roses. MSQ was really good. I think everyone loved Doom Train as well. So
Doom Train was a cool fight.
Yeah, it really
absolutely.
was.
Everything's just on a positive uptick in along my friends too. So everyone seems to be enjoying this patch.
Flynn, you're nodding like you agree with most of that.
Yeah, definitely. And also 7.4 is our last Savage here, so that's a big community upkick.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
But yeah, we've got
This gear will lead you into.
But that still says nothing of like the new characters, right? You're not typically rolling a new character for the Savage content.
But they could, like Tark said, Metalheads going, beta Tom Morello, they've done Songfolk. Have to see what's like the game is. Got a bit of hype with everything, and also, like you said, we are now in the prep for 8.0. And I love how people realize that new ASEAN Halamut is Benedicta from 16, so that's going to be exciting to see how much they use it.
Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Woo!
That's awesome.
I'm seeing stars, baby. I'm seeing stars. Yeah, I mean, it's. I was surprised by the numbers. I'm not going to lie. I normally expect a little bit of an increase as we go into the .4. And then I expect it to kind of tail off again, and then the .0, obviously, .5 has its own little jump, but .4 is kind of where the next expansion begins, right? As far as the lead up, the build up, the MSQ. I didn't expect it to be that much, though. I particularly didn't expect the numbers to be that high when it comes to new characters.
Yeah.
And the returning player number by itself is impressive as well. They all kind of came in much higher than I would have anticipated just from, hey, here's some word of mouth from Final Fantasy XIV players that 7.4 is a pretty good patch. You always get that kind of bump. I didn't expect it to be this much. It's good to see. It's absolutely good
definitely,
to
especially
see.
since last time I told about this, it was more a bit doom and gloomy.
Yeah.
So as soon as I saw the update, it's like, we have to bring this up.
Yeah, and because if you look at the way it was trending, right, March of 2025, they had 990,000 active characters, and that was right before patch 7.2. And then in May, it was 950, so down 40. July, it was 880, so down another 70. September held pretty steady at 880, but then November fell again to 820,000. So we had lost like 170,000 off of not exact numbers to begin with between March and November of last year. So gaining back, 100 plus thousand of those net, that's pretty damn good. That's pretty damn good. I'll take it. Always take the good news. All I didn't put this in the show notes, but I did kind of want to give you guys, and Flynn had asked me before the show about it, and I said, I'll talk about it in the show. So we had the Winter Cup, Final Fantasy TCG Winter Cup, not this past weekend, but the weekend prior here in Pittsburgh, and it ended up being a fantastic event. It was 2 days. Day one was the 3v3 team tournament. We had about 180 players in there. It was like 50 some, or almost 60 some teams, something like that. So it was like 170, 180 players, duking it out to make it to the top 8, and then from there winning a bunch of prizes. And then day 2 was the individual tournament, which we had like over 100 people there as well. A bunch of people stayed. It was a blast. I did not get to play. I was unfortunately judging the event with the excellent team of judges and TOs and everybody from Four Horsemen in the mall at Robinson. It was also good to see Square Enix and Hobby Japan there, including Kageyama-san, producer of the game. And if you check out, you're going to have to wait because the store kind of didn't do what we told them to do as far as save that video on Twitch. Otherwise, it goes away in 14 days, or move it over to YouTube. They didn't do that, so it's not on their Twitch anymore. It's okay. It's all right. We may have downloaded a copy, and you'll find it elsewhere. It'll be back up. We'll get it out there for you. Because on day 2, we actually put Kageyama-san on stream because they were doing Gunslinger, where the staff plays players, and so we put them on stream.
Nice.
We're like, get on stream. I will say that I had to pass out more game losses at these tournaments than I have ever passed out at any tournament I've been a judge for. Yeah, I had to give 2 different teams a full team game loss in day 1 during the Swiss rounds because their deck lists exposed that 2 decks had the same card in them, and you're not allowed to do that in a team format. If I use a singular copy of a card, Tark and Flynn cannot use any copies of that card. It's not locked by playset. It's locked by card ID. Even if I opt just to run a 1 of, that doesn't mean that there's 2 available for you guys to use. You can't use it at all. So that was 2 different teams, 2 different full team game losses. And then on stream, oh my God, on stream, I had to give a 2-time Worlds player a game loss. And it was like, Sergio's such a cool dude. Like, as soon as I came over and started asking questions just to make sure I was right and I was going to have to do what I thought I was going to have to do, he saw where the questions were going, and he was like, oh no. Damn it.
Oh, no.
Oh, damn it. So I didn't have to give his whole team a game loss, and his team did end up, the other 2 players won their game, so his team still got the win, if I remember correctly. But I had to give Sergio on stream a game loss. Apparently, he was practicing the night before and had made limit break deck changes, and was messing with them that night, and then forgot to change them back to what he had on his deck list that he turned in. And so he had cards. It was actually the stream team that first noticed it, and they called me over. They saw that he had a particular card in his limit break deck that, in reviewing the deck list while streaming, they said that card's not represented here, and one of his teammates is using that card. So I had to come over and look, and like, sure enough, that's what was going on. But it was a good time. It was a good time. You have an event coming up there on your side of the pond too, Flynn, don't you?
Yeah, on Saturday I'm running a silly Digimon tournament, but we have got Winter Cup happening in Cardiff over this weekend. A couple of my fellow players gonna have fun. A bunch of teams are formed. I think they're at around 180 players last time I was inquiring.
Oh,
so it should be a
nice.
good time. I believe it is being streamed over on Camry Cactua on YouTube. So it'll be a
Yeah,
good time to
probably.
hang out.
The Cardiff team typically streams all these types of things. So
Oh,
we'll
yeah,
have
yeah,
some
next dimension,
FFTCG to watch this weekend. That'll be nice. I love it. I love it. Okay, so now we have a veritable potpourri of Square Enix news for you.
Potpourri.
It is. It is a potpourri.
Feathers of
It is a potpourri. I mean, hey, the show might be a little normal or a little shorter than normal. That's totally fine. But I just like started throwing things in here because I was like, there's a lot of little stupid things going on over the last 2 weeks since we didn't have a show last week. Just breaking today, Dissidia Duellum, Final Fantasy. That pre-registration is now live for the iOS, Android devices. I know none of us were particularly like thrilled or eager about this one. Has any of that changed since we first heard about this, Tark? Are you going to give it a shot?
I will give it a shot just so I can speak intelligently about it here. But I'm not excited. So there's my 2 cents.
Flynn, are you pre-register?
Probably not, but I have 2 notes about the cinematic opening that we've got.
Go ahead.
One, Nomura can finally say there is a behemoth in Shibuya in a working game.
I mean, this is true.
Okay.
This is true.
Secondly, if you swap the music of the trailer to 17 Clean Planet B remix, and it feels like it's a Kingdom Hearts intro.
I could kind of see that, I guess.
It lined up quite well.
Yeah,
This definitely feels more Kingdom Hearts. Where that was framed.
If you didn't put the Dissidia Final Fantasy name and you just let people guess, they might think Kingdom Hearts anyways.
Yeah.
Just add a Mickey reference somewhere. Boom.
Yeah, it definitely has that like Kingdom Hearts kind of art style to it too. That realistic but still cartoony, pastel-y color type palette. Yeah, I don't care. Like, I was just like vaguely into Dissidia, or very loosely into Dissidia. I owned the PlayStation game when it was up and running. I don't think I ever played the handheld version, which is kind of like the one to play according to most people.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever played that. I think I played it on just the console. And I really don't care about a mobile version. I just like I couldn't care less.
Yeah, Opera Omnia had really good stories. The original Dissidia was pretty good.
You've tried the mobile ones, but still can't get into them, says Doc Holiday. Well, here is another chance for you to do so. Yeah. And get while the getting's good, because 12 to 18 months from now, Square will shut it down because it failed to meet expectations. So
Ever
get in
Crisis
while
is still going strong 2.5 years later.
I don't
but that's just because they're trying to keep making you forget that they've released a really terrible port.
I mean, would you use the word? I feel like the word strong is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence. Like, it's still going. Yes. Strong. I don't know.
Still going.
Oh, shit.
You know what just continues to manage to like just keep going strong though, like not being facetious about the word. It's just like
11?
a slow burn thing is Nier Automata.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally just been the slowest of burns, but it keeps going. Apparently, that fantastic game crossed 10 million units, Tark. That is awesome. A staggering number when you think about it. Like, we've heard, it had this million, and we're like, yeah, it's a fantastic game. 10 million's a damn big number. That's a damn big number.
Yeah. But also, how old is the game? Like 10 years old?
True, but that's still 1 million units a year. Like,
I mean, that's fair. And that's fair. That's fair. For that series, Drakengard, Nier, both in Replicant and in Automata, they're fantastic games. It's just, you gotta find them first. You gotta have someone that's like, you should try this. It's not something that became a big IP. I think now it's that IP that's in people's heads. So, you know, when a sequel comes, we talk about here, maybe that will go off gangbusters.
Yeah, and we don't know for sure, Flynn, anything, but the trailer I'm showing here was kind of like their fun trailer put together, showcasing the game, talking about the units sold, and it is definitely a very Eastern Japanese trailer. That is for sure. It is like 100% Japanese culture in a nutshell. When you're a Western person and you're like, show me something Japanese, there's a lot of Japanese going on in this trailer. A lot.
Yeah, show me why Yogotaro is the way he is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, just to cut in, when I mentioned the start show, weird week for news, after bring up Yogotaro directed an anime sequel or reboot to Evangelion.
Yeah. We got this little tease at the end, and so I'm going to just show the screenshot of it so that we don't have to wait for it to show up. And I threw this in chat as soon as I watched the whole video, and that came up at the end, and I was like, "Ooh, wait, what?" And I threw this in the chat, and both Tark and Flynn were like, "Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?"
I shared this to
What's it called?
everyone that.
Now?
Yeah. I'm stoked that they are actually aware that this title exists. You know, maybe they were just waiting for a milestone before they could announce something. It's not definitive on what this continued could be. Could it be an anime? Could be another failed mobile. They already had one, so you know, we'll see. But I'm
or a
hyped.
graphic
I'm
novel.
excited.
Like, given Square
Graphic
Enix
novel.
at this point,
It
you're
could be
right.
anything.
Like, it could be
It's a
could be a
tabletop
novel.
game next.
Yeah, it could be a tabletop game. It could be a graphic novel. It could be just a regular novel. It could be an NFT. It could be a mobile game. Like, it could be a true console sequel. Like, yeah, I have no idea. I
But
hope
yeah,
it's a
before
whole
we
new.
disappear off this, now 10 million units, how crazy it is. I had to check it while we was talking. The population of Wales is about 3 million people. So that is every person in Wales buying 3 copies of this game.
Which you
That's
all
how
did,
crazy
right?
it is.
Like, you all did, naturally.
Yeah.
Just in case one wears
Yeah,
down.
the original
like, that's
version,
way.
the Your Horror edition, then on Steam, then on Xbox.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there's multiple editions, but hey, there are you would love for any product you sell to sell 1 million units every year, even if you had to pump a little bit of money into a re-release or an update or a port occasionally just to sell another 1 million that year. Yeah, that's worth it. That's worth it. And speaking of just like milking the proverbial cow, right? Final Fantasy VII continues to get milked. We talked on the last show about the PC change that they were making, where you could not get the 2013 port anymore. They were putting up a new version of it, and at the time, we didn't know like if it was just some straight updates to some code and some issues and make things run smoother, or if they were actually going to add some new features to the game. Well, we do know the answer to that one now, because the game did come out, and we're going to talk about how it was received as soon as it came out.
It came out at the most optimized file size I've ever seen of 0 kilobytes.
0 kilobytes, yeah.
0.
So in the new version of the game, they did add an improved gameplay experience. So they put in a 3x speed mode, the ability to turn battle encounters off, a battle enhancement mode that recovers HP and MP during battles and maxes out the limit gauge, which that's kind of fun, I think, and autosave. Now, they didn't change anything about the story, and obviously if you have the 2013 version, like we talked about on the previous show, you got this one for free. People just can't buy the 2013 version anymore. If you own it, you'll still be able to play it. You just can't buy it anymore. So there were some neat little additions to the game. But, as Flynn said, pointing out one, there were some quick patches that they had to introduce as mostly negative reviews just poured in, Tark. What the hell happened to Final Fantasy VII?
Well, it seems to be the same port that is on PlayStation now, because I'm seeing all the same features in my 7 playthrough here on Ready Check Radio. The speed of the game is also tied to some other things in the game, like music. It's like when you go into that 3x speed, you can actually desync your music and you won't have any music playing at all. It's the weirdest thing, you know, playing in the church with Aerith and you hear nothing but clink, clink, and sound effects. Other things like they applied a graphics filter. The FMVs are a little janky. They applied
I think we have to speed up on it.
Yeah. They also applied a graphics filter, a smoothing filter for all the graphics. So the pre-render backgrounds, I've seen side by sides, and they're just, I'm sorry, they're just worse. So I'm not sure why that was done. I think the feel and how it was originally put out is the best way to experience it, unless you're gonna do a full HD, lack of a better word, remake, you know. But yeah, it did not go so well. So they're working on fixing some things.
Yeah, and a bunch of these patches, Flynn, already made it in. Like give Square Enix credit here, they were very quick on some of these patches. Not all, but they were very quick on some of the larger ones including the one you mentioned where some users were reporting as soon as they bought it or as soon as they claimed it because they owned the 2013, the file size was 0. They forgot to put the game in the
additionals on GOG. So outside of Steam, it was a 0 kilobyte. Square Enix.
But here's where Tark, the community, comes in again because they've decided they're going to take care of this, right? Right?
Yeah. Let me help you help Final Fantasy VII. I'll put it. Modders are like, hey, we've been working with the 2013 version and improving it and making it the best experience possible. Let us help you. We know how to make this game the best it can be. Please hire us so that we can do this for you and make it an official release. So I don't know if they're going to listen to that, but they should. They really should. Can we get 6:9 aspect ratio back? Because the 4:3 that's fixed right now is also kind of jank.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, like, I know people are complaining about it, and I get it. I do. But it's also one where I'm like, yeah, I get it. It was originally a 4:3 game. Like, this is not a remake or remaster or anything where I would expect, some of those things. I get it, though. They were problems the community had already fixed, and now they're going to have to fix again. It
could be worse. I don't know if you saw on the Metal Gear Solid side of things, the 2 editions of it re-released. One that actually had a working 16:9 fix, and then the newest version from the Legacy Collection is just stretched over to the 16:9.
Oh God. Yeah, I guess it could be worse.
But it was fun just staring at all the replies in the Cinemods thread of yeah, this is what's going wrong. This is what we can fix.
You know what's worse, Flynn? That I'm going to have to blast the same site, and technically group of sites, because they're all kind of under the same umbrella of ownership. But I'm going to have to blast CBR again.
Oh, clickbait radio.
Yeah.
Radio.
Yeah. Comic book resources, CBR, and they're kind of under like what is that? They're the whole rant umbrella, aren't they?
I believe so.
I don't want to, but we'll stick to just CBR because I don't want to throw shade on people unnecessarily. But I threw shade on a clickbait headline and image based on Final Fantasy IX stuff. They know exactly what the fuck they're doing. It's aggravating, and they did it again. Here's the headline. The image is just Vivi's face again. The headline from last week, on the 18th, was new Final Fantasy IX release officially confirmed for May 2026.
Yeah, that's just not right.
You should be ashamed of yourselves. And you're thinking, Mike, why should they be ashamed? Are we getting a Final Fantasy IX release officially in May? No. We're getting a picture book called Vivi and Grandpa's Memories for the Sky. And I'm sure this thing is beautiful and the art is amazing and it's a cute story. Like, I am not trying to throw shade on the picture book at all.
But there was a few funny clickbait headlines this week of Final Fantasy IX.
Oh, yeah?
We've got the Economic Times. Final Fantasy IX returns an exciting May 2026 release. Vivi gets the spotlight. We have comic book resources. New Final Fantasy IX release officially confirmed for May. And what was the other one I just saw? Screen Rant. Final Fantasy IX officially returns in April with unexpected new release.
Just all these places, they're just awful.
Internet. I hate the internet. I hate the internet. But we did get Hironobu Sakaguchi off the internet for a little bit lately. Obviously, we know he's been playing a ton of Final Fantasy XIV, right? At one point, he was talking about like 14 hours a day or something like that. We have gotten him off the internet for a little bit because of Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. He says via his social that somehow he finally cracked and he is playing the 7 Reimagined, which is fantastic, by the way. Yeah. I don't know. I think we all were day one purchasers of that one, right?
It was just me who wasn't. It is if I had the money, it'd be day one. It's just
gotcha.
I didn't get day one. I plan on getting it. the demo was amazing. I played way too much of it. But yeah, it's really good, and I need to get into there. But I'm like knee deep in Rebirth playthrough, so it's gonna come. It's coming.
Makes sense. Makes sense. And how good this one is really makes the next topic kind of more punchy for me, because I've always been, when we've talked about this on the show, I've always been kind of that, I wouldn't mind if you did it. It just makes me really nervous that you might not do it right. And all three of us have kind of shared that opinion when it comes to a Chrono Trigger remake, reimagine, remaster, whatever. Insert thing here for Chrono Trigger. And 2 weeks ago, it looked like there was an opportunity to give that feedback at least. Maybe they weren't listening, but we could give it. Because Team Asano, that's the team that did Octopath Traveler, Bravely Default, Dragon Quest, they recently had put out a poll to Japanese fans asking just plainly, what game would you like to see remade? And so obviously one of the hugely popular submissions that everybody was tacking on there was Chrono Trigger, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Trigger. And then there was a follow-up question saying more specifically, what type of remake do you want to see? Whether it was just like the HD 2D, a full 3D, a full remake, a doll look, kind of like they did in the Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, which I actually don't mind that art style. I know it doesn't appeal to everybody. Or a pixel remaster. Like, they gave all of those options. So Chrono Trigger was back on the table, boys. So I'm going to ask you this before we go to the next Chrono Trigger bit. If they did a Chrono Trigger remake, which one of those, Tark, would you want? Which one of those types that they asked about?
I think you keep it in the same spirit of the original game. I was one that didn't feel that it doesn't need a remake. Just put it on the most modern consoles and just let it be what it is, because it's an amazing game on its own. It doesn't need to be tweaked in any way. But if you were to tweak it, the 2D HD of Octopath and Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 would be perfect for it. It would really bring a little bit more depth of field, and it would just be absolutely exciting to see that much more visual brightness in that game.
Are you on the same page, Flynn? You want the
Oh yeah, I feel
2D,
very
HD,
evangelical
2D.
about HD 2D.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I could get up on stage like a soul preacher and give a sermon on why it's the best.
Stay tuned to Within Crisis. The next podcast will just be Father Flynn espousing the gospel according to HD 2D. Yeah, I think I'm kind of with you. Although the Dragon Quest VII Reimagined does kind of open some interesting stuff in my brain about what you could do with Chrono Trigger. I don't know how much I actually want them to change, though. Like, the changes they made to Dragon Quest, a lot of them you're like, yeah, that really does make sense. Like, there were certain things happening that kind of fucked up the pacing a little bit because they were happening in an order that wasn't intuitive to the story. I like the way they've changed these or streamlined these things a little bit. There is that Chrono Trigger isn't a long game to begin with. Let's not go trying to streamline anything, right?
Yeah.
Let's just get in there and do it. Now, when this story got talked about on Reset Era, John Harker, who has had a history of insider leaky type information, right? Being good. In response to the comments on this topic, John Harker said the Chrono stuff is already in dev, though. Let's ask for something else, like opening back up Triangle Strategy 2 or a legit sequel to Final Fantasy Tactics.
Also,
now, obviously, that Chrono stuff is already in dev. Popped a bunch of replies, which Harker didn't want to reply to. It was like, let's recommend other games because we know this one's in there. So I'm going to ask you again, on a scale of 1 to 10, Tark, how confident are you that Square Enix is already working on a Chrono Trigger remake, remaster, reformat, etc., etc.? Pick one, doesn't matter.
I put it right up there with my hopium that is still Final Fantasy IX remake. Apparently it's getting a new entry here in May, so please look forward to it. Yeah, it's happening, of course. High expectations. My optimism is great.
I kind of put it. I think I still put it at about a 7. Yeah, I think it's more likely than not that it is in development, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they never said anything about it and we never saw it. And if I think I was an 8 or a 9 or a 10, I think that's a bit too optimistic, but I'm not at the middle point. So yeah, I think a 6.57 that this is probably a thing that they are at least exploring at this point. If they're not like at all, even just like talking about it, let alone fully developing it, Harker again says it's in dev, but if you're not even, I don't even know what the hell's going on over there, Flynn, if they're not even talking about it, right?
Yeah. I think it's a 7 with us not doing anything until game show next year.
I think that's fair. I do like that they're exploring this, though, because they do kind of need it. The finances came out, and they weren't stellar. They weren't horrible, but they weren't stellar. So for the 9 months ending December 31st, 2025, as we went into the new year, the net sales themselves were way down. They were down 1.3 billion. That's like a little over 13% in net sales down. Their profit on that was actually up. Their profit was up 3.6%. That's not a huge number, but it is profitable with profit up with net sales down. Digital entertainment net sales was $717 million, and that was down almost a quarter. It was 23.7% for that same time period. A lot of that obviously has to do when you look at the MMO segment in particular. The Dawntrail, the expansion happened, and so there is no expansion in this same time period when we're looking at it. So, yeah, you expect to be down, but I don't think you expect to be $1.3 billion down in sales, Tark. That's a big number.
Well, over this last year, man, what was the big titles? The big AAA releases this last year? I can't remember any. I mean, we had Tactics, and that did well, but
they were real quick to throw up the 1 million sales mark on that one.
They were extremely happy about that. I was happy about that, but like this last year has not been a good year. I know it's in transition. Its own shareholder, one of the majority shareholders, is not been happy and throwing financials out there for everyone to see. So I know they're working on things. It's maybe going to be another year of quiet Square before maybe they get back on the right side of things.
If you are of the, go ahead, Flynn. Sorry.
I was just saying, indeed.
It's just ditto.
I concur.
Yeah. To elaborate a bit more, it is weird that it wasn't that long ago we was all complaining. It's like, Square Enix, stop announcing so much stuff where we
if you think back, though,
games.
If you think back, though, when we were doing that was the end of 2024 into 2025 when they had a tight window of a bunch of things from like January through the late March, beginning of April, because then we were like, they don't have anything for the rest of the year, right? And these numbers bear that out, to Tark's point, right? Once we hit April through December, that's your 9-month period of 2025, and that's the period we're talking about being this far down in sales, because there just wasn't much on the board for them. They stacked the first quarter of the year. There is something new coming out. This is not a me thing at all, though. I don't care. Panorama Site, The Mermaid's Curse, which is a visual novel, will be published by Square Enix. However, I brought it to this show because if you're not because there's really a lot to say, like you already know if you like these kinds of things or not. It was shown at the Nintendo Direct. It's not coming to PlayStation 5. They're not. It's weird. They're doing PC, Switch, and mobile. But just like the ones before it, this one's not going to come to the PlayStation 5 either. So that seems very weird to me. Like, it can't cost you that much.
Multi-platform strategy, except for this game. Nah, we don't want to do that. Like, okay, sure. Just... No.
Have either of you ever, like, Flynn, have you ever done any of the Square Enix graphic novel stuff? I've just never been a graphic novel.
Not the Square Enix ones.
I don't think I've ever done one from beginning to end.
Game I fully played through when I was Digimon Survive. And that's been the only one I've ever played through.
Tark, have you ever done any of the visual novels?
I don't think I've ever done one of those games. If someone wants to recommend what they feel is the best, I would be happy to give it a try to see what it's all about. But I just never tried it and it's never piqued my interest. So I'm willing to try. If someone has a recommendation, throw it in the
Digimon
comments.
Survive.
There you go. Flint's already got you.
From an IP that I care nothing about. That's great.
Oh, no, you play it because it is one of the darkest stories that come out with cutesy little characters. You will just see someone absolutely murdered within the first hour.
Good grief.
It is dark.
A couple things. I don't want to belabor these because we've kind of alluded to these in earlier discussions this month and in January. Final Fantasy VII Remake. There was an interview with Naoki Hamaguchi, who was being asked about the tech side of things more than anything over on automaton.com, automatonmedia.com. And mainly it was like, hey, the game is PC is their default platform. They've kind of come out and said that PC is their default platform, which means they're catering to the higher end platforms, PlayStation 5, PC, stuff like that. And so the questions were more geared, Tark, around like, how can you guarantee the performance is there if you're also making this for lower spec platforms like the Xbox Series S and the Nintendo Switch 2? And he does go into the technical side about how all of this works and why they're doing things the way they're doing it, and all of that stuff. So at least from everything they're saying publicly, expect it to be the high-end experience you probably expect, which means the PC port won't work the first 24 hours. It just won't work. And the team on 7 says that they are in the final push phase. So, yes. Tark, do we see the game in 2027? We're not seeing it this year. So do we see it in 2027?
I want to say, January, February. So early next year.
That hits the 30th release window too, right?
30th release window, all stars
or the 30th anniversary release. Yeah.
And honestly, that gives you a year to polish, refine, optimize if it's going to be multi-platform, because I thought this last state of play would be a good time to announce, it's coming next winter. That would have been a good time they didn't announce it, so I don't know if we're going to hear an announcement until Summer Games Fest at this point. And at that point, that's not in Sony's hands, so maybe we just hear that it's available for all platforms. I'm excited if that's a possibility. The more people that can get their hands on it, the better. I know that they're going to knock this out of the park. The Rebirth is amazing. Oh my God, it's amazing.
Flynn, you added something to the notes here on Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest being less popular with Japanese children. And that's something we've actually talked, not specifically Japanese children, but we've talked on this show often about, Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest aren't the global phenomenon IPs that they may have been in the past for our generation when we were younger. When you look at like my kids and younger these days, they just don't see the IPs the same way we do. And some of our viewers in the comments have said the same thing. Takao is particularly outspoken on this exact topic. So you kind of linked an article here discussing specifically Japanese children and Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest. What do you got here? What is this?
The TLDR of this, and just Final Fantasy Dragon Quest, this is more global. Like for our era of games, we was getting a new Final Fantasy every year, new Dragon Quest, a new this, that. So we was having these pivotal moments in our life with a franchise that's grown with us. It's like watching the Avengers films and stuff like that. Now it's so ingrained into your life that when they slow down this one release every 5-6 years, it doesn't feel the same. And that is where we are with like Dragon Quest. How long are we waiting now for Dragon Quest 12? How long are we going to wait for Final Fantasy 17? How long are we going to wait for the next big hit of something else we loved? And yeah, it's weird that as much as we want to hype up these franchises, we also grew up in the golden era where we could get excited every winter. It's like new Final Fantasy, new Dragon Quest, new Kingdom Hearts, back when they had tidy releases. And it is a shame that development times is so long now that you don't get ingrained in the younger audiences as much.
Yeah, because they're ingrained in Fortnite or Grand Theft Auto 5. And my son's played Hitman. I'm like, that's cool. And I was like, hey, I want you to try, 6 or 7. And he plays for like an hour. He's like, I'm bored. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, GTA is one of the best examples.
Racing you wrong.
Because the PS2 had 3 GTA games. Now GTA 5 had 3 generations of console. So you can see the duality.
I'm not going to disagree with you that game development takes longer these days, but I'm certainly not going to use GTA as the example. Like the GTA has always done its own thing when it comes to that stuff. I think it's funny that on this article you posted, there's only one comment, and the comment, it says, Japanese charts, Dragon Quest VII Reimagined blows the competition out of the water. That was the headline. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined Switch 1, 177,563 units. New Dragon Quest VII Reimagined Switch 2, 160,101 units. New Dragon Quest VII Reimagined PlayStation 5, 118,798,000 units. New sales chart says otherwise. Dragon Quest game after game has been absolutely huge for Square Enix in Japan. To suggest otherwise is just clickbait, I guess. And I don't think the author reading through it was necessarily saying that the games weren't big. And I mean, I skimmed the article because I knew I was going to let you lead this portion of the discussion. So I don't want to speak for the author. But I didn't get the impression that that was the thesis statement, right? That these franchises weren't big and couldn't sell well. It was that they're selling well to a generation that they have always sold well to and aren't necessarily picking up the generation behind them, which they probably want to start considering for future growth purposes. So, yeah, I wouldn't argue with the comment. I'm sure they sell well. I bought it. But you do still have to watch the generations behind. Or, and I'm just saying, or you could not worry about it and just go ahead and get into the tabletop gaming business.
You just switch your whole premise from video games to the tabletop. Yeah, to real life.
And what's funny about this one is when I first saw it, I was like, that is fake as fuck looking. Like, Flynn put it in the show notes, and I took it out initially. And then I think he thought it just got deleted, so he put it back. And then like a week later, I put a link in chat with this, but it was from a different source. It was from a more reputable source, a site that by that I mean I was just familiar with the site, and I knew that they were more legit than what I had seen previously. But yeah, this actually, it does look fake as hell, but this is a real thing. Kesco is partnering with a licensing deal with Square Enix to launch a new lineup of Final Fantasy tabletop games. This collection includes a multi-game board game deal and collectible role-playing game dice sets inspired by Final Fantasy 1 through 6, the Pixel Remaster. These will actually be previewed at the New York Toy Fair. Were previewed at the New York Toy Fair at the Javits Center. And they say, we've seen how powerful Final Fantasy can be in the tabletop space recently, bringing longtime fans and brand new players into the shared experience. We're excited to partner with Square Enix and continue that momentum with our own faithful adaptation that honors what fans love most about the Pixel Remaster era while delivering something fun, accessible, and collectible for the tabletop community. Expect these to be released sometime in Q3 of this year. I definitely want the dice, minimum. I definitely want the dice. I could use those for FFTCG. Which, by the way, would you market that, please?
Yeah, sorry. I definitely want more dice.
Look at the same marketing budget as
the Meteor. Love my little Meteor dice from the TTRPG.
Very cool. Very cool. It's almost like Square Enix is kind of like on the reverse path of Nintendo, right? Like 15, 20 years from now, Square Enix will be a playing card company. Like, they started at video games.
Speaking of playing cards, there are the Final Fantasy XI playing cards.
Yeah, they are gorgeous. I still have to buy those. I still have to order those. I will buy this, sadly. Well, I want to see it because they didn't really give details about like
They didn't.
how many games this will be because they just said it's a multi-thing deal. Like the dice, I'm in. Like, give me some Final Fantasy branded dice. Perfect. Yes, I will buy them. I don't know the games. I'm not one that collects every or buys every Final Fantasy or Square Enix related board game. Like I have Chocobo's Crystal Hunt. I don't have like the Final Fantasy VII Materia, whatever that game was called. I don't personally own the tabletop RPG. I know Flynn does. So the games I think are going to be like hit and miss. If I like the game, I will buy it. But the dice, yeah, you got me. Where do I sign?
So I play board games with my kids pretty much every weekend. I have them.
Oh,
So
yeah, we're huge
I'm
board
gonna-
game people over here. But the game's
Yeah.
got to be good. I'm not buying
The
it.
game's got to be good. I'm gonna get at least one of them if it's multi-game. I'm gonna get one of them, and I'm gonna hope that they have fun with it. That maybe my son gives Final Fantasy the games another chance. So maybe that's my way in.
Flynn, you have the TTRPG, so these are guaranteed day ones for you, right?
I need to see how it's played. I don't play.
Okay,
board
so
games
everybody's with
often.
me. Cool. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
I haven't had a chance to really do too much in the board game space. It's only been the last few years that like Dungeons and Dragons has been in my radar enough that I'm playing it.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely want to see how this plays. Hopefully, when they do the New York Toy Fair and we get some reviews from it.
Well, the Toy Fair was last week. They did the Toy Fair.
Yeah.
So
That's done.
that's done.
Like a
Speaking
proper
done,
gameplay.
let's go do Love It or Leave It. Love It or Leave It is the way we end every episode of the Relic Grind here. It's where I give you something Square Enix related. Could be a game, something they've done, something they said in a press release, or something just tangentially related to the company. And you tell me whether you love it, want more of it, or leave it, cast it aside, never to be seen again. And I want to know, gang, do you love it or do you leave it? This fact that it seems to be that Square Enix is focusing a little more on tabletop gaming. Is that a good thing, do you think, long term, and you love it? Or is that potentially taking away from development or resources that could be working on your next video game that you want and you hate this idea? Tark, love it or leave it?
I'm gonna go with love it because I do love a good board game. That's the key that you had said. The game has to be good. If it's not good, then that's just garbage for Square in general. So the game has to be good. I love a good board game. I love Final Fantasy. Maybe this being a bridge for my family to get them more into the video games. That's awesome. The Dungeons and Dragons, the card games. Just they gotta be good, and you gotta market it. So everyone's saying that the first two were pretty good as far as quality. Now you got to market these things too, for them to really hit mainstream.
Flynn, love it or leave it?
Yeah, I'll go on the love it side. This is a good way for Square to try and supplement some income without video game expenditure, for them to experiment with some stuff. And as Todd was saying with his kids, this could be a good gateway between doing something outside of a video game to try and bring them into our nerdy video game world.
Yeah, I kind of love it. And if you look at this one specifically, you can't argue that it's really taking Square Enix resources, right? Kesco is involved in a licensing deal. So if anything, Square Enix pulled money on this particular one. But looking at it holistically across the board, whether they're sinking resources into tabletop stuff or they're picking up licensing deals, anything that promotes brands that I like is good, whether or not I like that particular product. And Tark, you kind of alluded to that. Maybe this will bring my son into this or my daughter into this in a way that I couldn't by just saying, hey, play this, you know? And so any exposure is good. And you know what? If you're sinking some money into stuff, then it means the Final Fantasy TCG is less likely to go anywhere or disappear or anything because it's one of the larger pieces on your miscellaneous section of your P&L. So I'm always all for that.
You can
That's going to do it for
warding against failure.
Yeah. That's going to do it for us here today. We'll be back next Thursday. Pretty sure. Are we going to be back next Thursday? Yes, it's the 5th. Okay. We'll be back next Thursday with another episode of the Relic Grind, and we'll, I'm sure, talk variant dungeons. Until then, Flynn, where can everybody find you?
You can find me here, find me do shows. Otherwise, over on Twitch, YouTube, Kick, Within Crisis or Within Crisis Podcast, streaming 14 and getting back to Xenoblade, like get my mind around to it.
Tark.
Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all Tarkov Gaming, playing Final Fantasy XIV most days of the week. I got my complete VODs of Rebirth up on YouTube. Check that out. We're getting into Gungaga. And then here on Ready Check Radio Saturday night, we are in the middle of Final Fantasy VII. Just got out of Calm, so forward ho.
I'm Mike Byrne. You can follow me right there at Magic Man 1, but more importantly, follow at RC Radio, and you'll know every time we're going live with a podcast, Tark or others are streaming, or we're doing some Final Fantasy trading card game locals live every Monday night here on Twitch. Until next time, gang, stay safe, and we'll see you on the servers.